understand you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Hello race fans and welcome to the Western States Racing League. We are here for round number 7 at Darlington. The lady in black, the track too tough to tame. It's an old circuit with a lot of nicknames, but don't let its age get past you. I mean, this thing is old, it is mean, and it will bite you when you least expect it. The Western States Racing League ready to rock and rumble at this egg-shaped oval in South Carolina. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I'm Liam Irving, joined up in the booth by Mike DeMoney. Mike, how you doing?
Doing good, doing good. Can't wait to see these guys get back on track after the dynamite race we had last week at Las Vegas.
Yeah, last week, Las Vegas saw Jacob Jensen get yet another win. However, it didn't come the way that you might expect it to in a dominating performance like we saw in his championship campaign last year. Oh, he led one lap. It was the last lap after contact between Glazer, Patton, and can't think of the third driver involved there. Justin Michael, yes. Sorry there, but incredible action all throughout the race and capped it off with an incredible finish. Seeing Jacob Jensen get it done again. Here's another driver looking to get it done again, Matt Sisler. Saw him be the bridesmaid a couple times last season. Was able to get it home with a win this time around, and looking to improve as he puts down his first lap. That's good enough for a top 10. We've got just under a minute here left in qualifying, and gives us a good opportunity to kind of take a look at some of these details that we've got going on in our race here. Race is longer than 2 laps. That's the wrong one. But yeah, we're here at Darlington. It's going to be 117 laps. No stages here. Looks like we'll have 5 additional tire sets. 3 green, white checker attempts, and the fuel window is going to be roughly 45 laps. Meaning there will be at least 2 stops here. But if it goes green, would not be super duper shocked if we saw some of these guys potentially try a 3rd pit stop.
Definitely not. We'll see what they can do here, trying to use the tires, because it is Darlington.
It is, and expect a lot of fall off here throughout the course of this race. I know we're not, quite the Cup Series with the brand new horsepower, but these trucks are going to struggle, and each lap you're going to feel like you're driving slower than the last time around.
Looks like we're just waiting for a few drivers to get on the grid.
Well, as we wait for those last couple of drivers, we'll go ahead and show you the 31 who have registered to rock and rumble here in Darlington. On the pole, we're going to see Bentley Glazer with Scott Patton to his outside. Going to switch that over to auto real quick and then bounce that on back out of here. Row number 2. Going to be Ryan Patty and Matt Sisler. Ryan Steele and Caleb Lamb make up row number 3, with Bob Beltrami and Chad Stearns, row number 4. Charlie Widener and Paul Crumray making up the top 10. Wayne Hutchison and Charles Woods in 11th and 12th. Earl Weaver and John Kenyon, followed by Tyrone Harris and Todd Miles. Row number 9 consists of David Weaver and Jeff Hollingsworth, followed by Dustin Burns and Heath Smith. Jacob Jensen starting just outside the top 20 with Chris Simard to his outside. Haven't seen him in a little while. Keith Hovda and Ricky Bozer making up row number 12, with Scott Kukas and Keith Kelman in 25th and 26th respectively. Barry Phil and Wayne Fleet make up row 14, being followed, closing out your top 30, by Brian Barnes and William Fletcher. Last driver to take a starting spot here is James Dewar. It looks like 28 of our 31 drivers are going to be ready to roll here in Darlington. Brian Barnes, William Fletcher, and James Dewar either going to start it from the pits or not be able to make the grid here. Well, Mike, we had the sun up in practice and qualifying. The sun's now gone down a little bit. We take a look at the weather right now. It doesn't look like it's anything too crazy. Track temp at 77, air temp 73. I don't know. I think
definitely. It's like definitely not something really to worry about too much, as the track temp should go down. Oh.
Bentley Glazer leads him down. The pace truck's already made that hard left turn. Green flag is in the air. Waiting on it to drop, and there it is. Bentley Glazer leads us down. Patty looking to the inside already. A little bit squirrely out of the 46. Around goes the 4. Around goes the 30. Caleb Lamb going to save it, but the caution is going to come out. Dustin Burns may have
Wow.
also got sideways there, but Ryan Patty started the race up in third, got up to second, got sideways there, saves the car.
Yeah, that could have been bad there for the 30. Looks like the caution came out pretty quickly. So definitely gonna ease up on the restart here as we're gonna go single file.
We'll take another look here. So we're gonna see Patty get sideways. Lamb gets a touch from Seal, that gets him turned around, and that is what's gonna bring the caution out. He was fully sideways on the racetrack, even if just barely. Let's take another look at that. And then just one more look on board with Charlie Widener. That is not the camera I was trying to go with. Uh-oh. You're not updated. There we go. Just cranks it down to the left. So first caution already out. It's a quick one here in the Western States Racing League. Got to thank Premier Setups for being a partner with us here at Sim Racing Media. Of course, we'll show you their ad in a little bit, but one of the longest serving setup shops on iRacing. Got some special events coming up too, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to jump up on there and see what they got. See what suits your driving style. Premier Setups.
Definitely.
Premier Racing Setups.
Yeah, definitely take a look there. That was a quick caution. Tires didn't even get up to temp before they were slip sliding around. Gonna have a single file restart. Lights are out on that pace truck.
Yeah, see, that one never works. Not the way I want it to, at least. The one on the bottom, but that's besides the point. We're getting ready for another restart here. 3 laps complete. Going to be 4 when we cross the start-finish line. But it's still early. We've seen a couple of cars get sideways. The first chance that they were side-by-side with any other cars trying to put the hammer down on cold tires. What do we see on attempt number 2 of the restart? Watch from the starter cam once again. This time the single file line is going to be a bit more spread out. Green flag in the hands of Bentley Glazer, who leads him away. The flag man follows suit. Got one done under green there. Jeff Hollingsworth going to lose a few spots here down the front straightaway. Looking at the inside now of Todd Miles. Earl Weaver gets himself a bump from Heath Smith. Into the wall goes Todd Miles. You're going to see a lot of that tonight, Mike. Guys getting up into the wall, whether it's just a little scrape in the middle of the corner or a smack coming up off.
Yeah, definitely going to see more of that all night as you see those guys almost 3 wide back behind them. David Weaver, or Earl Weaver, trying to take advantage of Heath Smith there. Got by and try and close the gap to Jeff Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth over a second in front here, running 16th.
Back up to the front, Bentley Glazer holds on to the lead, but not by much. Scott Patton rocking the Cole Trickle throwback in his same Stone Ridge Chevy Silverado. Just got a different city Chevrolet paint scheme on that thing. Stone River, not Stone Ridge, my bad, but doing a pretty good job of keeping Bentley Glazer in tow. Ryan Patty in third place. He's got Matt Sisler looking just behind him, trying to take away that third spot. Top four started right where they are right now, and there was a little bit of a wiggle there at a Patty. That's going to allow Sisler the inside. A little bit of momentum coming up off of turn number 4. And it's early. How hard is that 30 going to fight up on the outside? Doesn't look like very hard.
Yeah, definitely not looking at Sisler, though. Good time to bring up the new addition to the truck series here on iRacing. Got that Ram truck working his way through the field.
And the glorious part about this being a brand new racing truck is that I'm just now realizing I have not reset my cameras for it. So, a little classic on what the old iRacing gave us to start with, as you say on the left door of this 93 machine, seeing what's in front of them. We'll take a look at what's behind, and we can see some separation forming in this pack.
That definitely looked like Heath Smith is closing in on Tyrone Harris. Harris gives him the spot. 2 number ones racing for position.
Yeah, I think Smith might have had a problem at some point. He was running further up than 16th. No, maybe I'm wrong. He started outside of the top 20. Once again, there's that... Look at Jacob Jensen go through the middle there. Let's have ourselves a look at that one, why don't we? He's going to set this pass up coming up off of turn number 4, and it looks like Weaver's going to try to get him up next to the wall. There's Smith becoming part of this. Hollingsworth gets sideways coming up off of the corner. Jensen just says, hey, here's a hole. Let me have it. Get us back to live pictures here. Smith still in 16th, trying to chase down John Kenyon. Bentley Glazer out in front of Scott Patton. Matt Sisler was able to get around Ryan Patty. We watched that happen as Patty got a little bit squirrely. But he's able to stick with that 93, so that may have just been more of a moment, Mike, than anything indicative of what his car might be feeling in these first 15 laps.
Well, I also think with some of the times with these trucks, you get that on a little bit of air just right on that rear spoiler, and it kind of makes you a little bit loose, and you have to try and catch that truck.
That's a good point too. Get the air taken off of that spoiler a little bit. That might have been a reason that got him sideways. Just like the old Intimidator button on NASCAR 06.
Exactly.
Looked like Austin Dillon used that once or twice, maybe to Shane Van Gisbergen in Phoenix. And trust me, I did think about how much I hate saying Austin Dillon and Intimidator in the same sentence, but it did look like he had the button.
Speaking of Intimidator, did you see the post of our Darlington paint scheme?
Dude, that looks so good.
Yeah, it does.
I kind of like that not everything is a throwback right now, right? So that kind of makes it seem like the guys that are going for throwbacks are really going for important ones. You know, it's not just like, oh, hey, you know, I guess I'm driving the 30 car. Who's ever driven a 30? Let me pick that one.
Yeah. It's like they do it for a reason.
And I know how tough it is with the sponsors nowadays. I mean, they want their car to represent their brand. But it's just so much fun for us race fans. As we're taking a look at Wayne Fleet here. He's getting lapped. Glazer looking to put Barry Phil a lap down now. All the way down to the bottom. He's going to get that done fairly easily as Chad Stearns looks down to the inside of Ryan Steele down the front straightaway. Trying to take away top 5 spot. He's going to be able to. He's going to slide up in front. I tell you what, I'm sure Steele meant to give him that space, but he only gave him just enough. And there's some of that looseness that we're seeing when you get right up in front of somebody. Mike, you might be onto something. Darlington might be a little bit worse for that aero loose sensation than we initially anticipated.
Yeah, it definitely looks like that is what's causing some of these trucks. If they have, you know, a truck behind them, they get a little looser than you would expect. But Stern's able to keep it under control, and now he's starting to drive away just a little bit.
Getting a little bit more of a gap over Steele as Steele now looks to be under fire from Widener. Widener looks down to the inside into 3 and 4, thinks better of diving it in there, but still poking his nose out, saying, hey, I am here. I had a better run last time. Who's to say I don't this time? Coming up off of turn number 4. It seems to be about equal, though. This drone is just chilling right in the center of the racetrack, giving us a perfect inside view of all of the action. Yeah, just outside of turn 2 now. Bentley Glazer's been able to get out to about a 2.5-second lead. However, Scott Patton has got a mirror full of Matt Sisler.
Yeah, Matt Sisler closing in pretty well in that Three Birdies Golf Company 93.
And you know what they say. I mean, if you got a group of guys behind you, you're the one who's holding them up. You got to wonder if Sisler feels that way, as he's going to make a move down to the inside now, trying to take away that second position. A little bit loose out of Sisler, a little bit loose out of Patty. You know who didn't get loose, though, was at 46. He's going to keep his foot in it up on the top side and try to keep the 93 behind him. Patty's going to try to follow through on the outside. Sisler doesn't give an inch, though. He's staying on the bottom side, completes that pass. Sideways up off of the corner. Pat back up to the outside. Patty going to push through on the bottom. Matt Sisler up to second. Ryan Patty follows him through. Patty just barely getting clear in front of that 46. And you see him start to slide just a little bit as he crosses over in front.
Yeah, slid up, barely had enough room to get clear of Patton. Patton's going to try and close in, but the driver they also had to worry about looked like Keith Kellman was down on the bottom, and they were almost 3 wide trying to go around the lap car.
You're definitely going to find some sketchy moments like that at a track like this. I mean, we take a look at what Bentley Glazer's doing right now. You see where that dotted yellow line or white line is coming up off of the corner, and we'll see it come back on entry. There are 3 lanes of pavement above that, where the extra banking is, where the grip is going to be, for lack of a better term. There's not a lot of racing room here. I know technically the inside wall is very far away, but the faster you're or the closer you are to that wall, the faster you're going to be.
Yeah, exactly. Bentley Glazer has won twice here in the Western States Racing League, but you have to go all the way back to October of 22, the last time he was able to bring home a victory here at Darlington.
Yeah, he's always been a driver that's been worthy of talking about. Very exciting to watch on the track and always performs well, but those victories just seem to pull away a little bit out of his grasp. Hoping that today is a different story out front from the get-go. Has led every lap. Matt Sisler up to second place, though, last time around. Just a couple tenths slower.
Yeah, last time by, I think the fastest guy on the track is actually going to be Chad Stearns there with the 31:04.
Go ahead and move that Premier logo up to the top so you guys can see who the 4th and 5th fastest drivers that last time were. Bentley Glazer in 4th. Bob Beltrami, the 5th fastest driver that last time around. Right around 100th of a second off of what your leader did. Not bad. Ricky Bozer jumped to the pits. Looks like he just entered the pit lane and
then jumped to the pits, yeah.
jumped
I don't know.
straight to his stall. Not sure what the issue could have been for him there, but try to keep you updated as Bentley Glazer continues to lead. He's up to almost a 4-second lead. Ryan Patty, however, has not... Well, he's gotten up into the wall right there. There's a Darlington stripe. He has not let Matt Sisler get away from him until that little mistake there, getting up into the wall.
Looking back through here at Ricky Bozer, and it looks like he just came down pit lane and said he had enough here as he just parked it.
See Chad Stearns now working to the inside of Scott Patton. Patton started this race in 2nd. He's falling back just a little bit. I know a top 5 is still nothing to be worried about or nothing to shake your head about, but he's just fallen out of the top 5 now to 6th place after 30 laps complete. You gotta wonder if he maybe used up a little bit too much stuff at the beginning, trying to stay with Bentley Glazer, and is paying the price for that now.
He might have, but the last lap, it looked like he kind of got in the wall a little bit. So that's going to cause a little bit of damage. But right now, Ryan Patty is stuck right in the wheel. Well, was stuck right in the wheel tracks of Matt Sisler. So he went up and bounced off that wall. Now he's going down to the inside, going to try and make that pass for 2nd. Slides up, not quite clear.
He got him.
Ooh. Sisler let out of the throttle.
Yes,
I am
he
almost
did.
positive of that one.
He gave him a little bit of a reprieve at the moment. He definitely could have tried to keep his nose up there, but... Well, if that was 10 to go, there would have 100% been contact. So. It's one of those situations where guys live to fight another day. Now Ryan Patty moves into 2nd place. We'll see if he can start closing in on your race leader. He's already got a couple of car lengths gap over Matt Sisler at this stage in the game. Last time around, he was 1/100th of a second quicker than Bentley Glazer. Glazer in pretty clear track. Going to be a lapper or two for Ryan Patty to deal with.
Yeah, Glazer's up to over a 4-second lead now. Just out here cruising.
Chad Stearns going to try to follow past Matt Sisler, coming up off of turn number 4. He's got a good run. I don't know if it's going to be good enough to get to the inside. It's going to be good enough to get to the bumper, put on some pressure, maybe loosen him up on entry. Set yourself up coming up off of turn number 2. Patty gets the wall just a little bit more in turn 2. It's not really going to kill you getting that wall. It might hurt your momentum a little bit, but the really good drivers can find a way to regain that momentum. And I'm not saying like, oh, just pop it off the wall and keep your speed. I'm saying more like you'll start sliding, you'll drop it down the track. Oh, wow, big moment there at a Sisler. There was sparks, but no contact between Stearns and Sisler there. Stearns going to take over the 4th position. He's up 5 spots from where he started.
Yeah, and as you saw just there, Stearns got a little loose as Sisler started to close back in, but after that bubble got put there, Stearns is able to drive away just a little bit faster.
Top three all within 1/10 of each other that last time around. Let's take a look this time around. Bentley Glazer still one of the faster cars on the racetrack with a 31.60 that last time around. Take a look at the fastest five, and your race leader was indeed the fastest. $80 laps to go for Bentley Glazer. Still a long way to go. 2 pit stops coming our way. If we were looking at a 3-stopper, I think we would have seen people come in now-ishly.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see how correct our fuel guesses are, because
Well, I mean, I
never
figure
know how much.
if you're doing a 3-stopper, you're probably going to go 30, 60, 90, and then run to 117 at the end. If we're looking at fall-off, 29.75 is the best lap out of your race leader. His last lap was a 31.25, so looking at less than 2 seconds per lap of fall-off after almost 40 laps. We'll say 35 with that opening caution. I just don't see the speed being there for that 3-stop option, and I think that's why nobody's really tried to take it. Caleb Lamb tried to chase down Scott Patton. Caleb started in 6th, got sideways on that initial green flag. Has recovered back up to 6th and is now looking to get into the top 5. Matt Sisler's coming into the pits along with Wayne Hutchison. Ryan Patty, Chad Stearns. So here we go. It begins. Bentley Glazer still out on the racetrack, and like we said, it's 2 seconds per lap slower on old tires versus new tires. Does Glazer come in this time around? He's staying up next to that wall. There's still the potential for him to hit the brakes hard. No, he stays right up top. He's going to stay out another lap.
Oh, Matt Sisler got a speeding penalty.
Oh, no. That is going to extend his pit stop considerably. We're looking at a 40-second hold for an excessive speeding penalty, which could be if he just didn't get it down in time, you were over 10 miles an hour over the speed limit, or maybe it's 5. But it is so easy to make a mistake getting onto pit road during green flag conditions, especially at a track like Darlington, where you've got to go from the tippy top of the banking to almost the complete flat surface in order to make that turn. As a matter of fact, Mike, I wouldn't be shocked if we saw some guys miss the pit lane entirely.
Ooh, there goes
Burns.
Yeah, Burns hard into that wall.
Here's
Oh, here he
Glazer.
comes
He
down.
makes a very early approach. He goes all the way down to the bottom on entry into turn 3, and he gets sideways. Almost hits the tires, keeps it straight, gets her locked down. No flag. Ryan Steele going to stay out. He's going to take over the race lead with Charlie Widener and Bob Beltrami, who are yet to pit, along with Chris Samard. He's going to take over the 4th position. Meanwhile, Glazer in the pits, Patton in the pits, Hollingsworth, from Rye, Kenyon, Smith. A lot of guys coming in here on lap number 43. And as we keep an eye on those laps in the bottom corner, we're looking at Matt Sisler, we're looking at Ryan Patty, those guys putting down those 30-27s. Only a couple tenths off of their fastest laps of the race at this point. And I know Sisler's going to have a lot to overcome with that penalty, but he's still showing the strength of those fresh tires.
Yeah, he's still going to be one of the fastest guys out here for a little while. You see Jacob Jensen go to the top of the board.
Are you surprised?
No, not at all. I mean, he did win here last time too, so.
Jensen currently sitting in the 12th position. Remember, the top 4 are yet to make a pit stop. Jensen started in 21st. Able to make up 10 spots on track. We had that early caution. Not sure how many spots he was able to gain on that initial start, but doing pretty good as now he looks down to the inside of Samard. He's going to go to the middle with Weaver. Gets through them both by the time he hits turn 3, and Samard is coming into the pits from 4th place.
So leaves 3 out on track, Steele, Widener, and Beltrami.
Tyrone Harris is yet to make a pit stop as well. See if he tries to stay out longer than Steele, Widener, and Beltrami to lead a lap.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be possible, but we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at these guys, and I know they had that early caution. We were looking at roughly 45 laps. I would say give or take 2. Steele, Widener, Beltrami, Harris. Here comes Beltrami, but they got to be running on fumes here, hoping for a caution.
Yeah, I don't necessarily understand the staying out here. Primarily because you're still going to have to make probably 2 stops. I mean, I think the guys that came down on lap, 39, 40, figured they'd come down 40, 80 and finish out the race.
Well, Mike, let me just say, you are wrong. Tyrone Harris is staying out after Steele and Widener have come into the pits. No, he's coming in. He's not going to lead this lap. I take it back. My apologies. But Ryan Patty is going to come around and take over the race lead. He's got Bentley Glazer just behind him. The undercut was able to gain those 5 seconds. But now Glazer all over the back bumper here, getting into turn 1. It's just going to be a matter of setting himself up to make that pass. Catching is one thing, but getting around, Mike, is a completely different story.
Yeah, it definitely is, but we'll see what he can do. We've seen how loose that 30 Chevy can get once somebody gets within a couple feet of it, especially on those fresh tires.
Closing in up off of turn number 4. Alan loves to bring up the eyeball test, and I tell you what, it's a pretty easy test to pass as they go down the front straightaway. Steele Patty getting right up next to the wall, maybe touching it right with his right rear. Still sitting on board. Now we'll take a look from a different angle, and you can see just where that gap sits, and then they come up off of the corner. Bentley Glazer just with a little bit more speed down the straightaways. He's able to exit these corners quite nicely. However, the center seems to be where he's starting to lose a little bit to Patty. Not this time around. Patty's going to get sideways. Glazer's going to get a little bit sideways. Not quite as sideways. He looks down to the inside. He's not quite there. He backs off. That fake dive bomb move. Barry Phil has a problem on the racetrack. We'll get you updated on that in just a moment. He's around down the front straightaway. Jump straight to the pits, so no caution is going to come out. Go ahead and flag that incident so we can jump back to it. But right now, this race for the lead is on fire. And Chad Stearns is loving to see this because the longer that 30 keeps the 87 behind him, the more likely he's going to be able to catch up, potentially keep this a race between the two. Although that's a huge run for Glazer. He's going to move down to the inside down the front stretch. Can Patty try to stick with it? No, he cannot. He's going to have to let that 87 through or risk them both crashing. Mike, how many times have we seen that over the years in both iRacing and in Cup racing? Somebody tries a big send at Darlington. The guy on the outside decides, I am not going to let you have this all the way. And then, boom, they're both wrecked.
Yeah, exactly. You see him slide up, and
Oh,
if
we
they
got
just
another
get their
problem
nose
coming up off of the corner. Wayne Fleet. Very slow, heavy damage to the front end.
Looks like he's got the meatball flag. He's going to be coming down pit lane. Barry Phil also had that meatball flag after his crash on the front stretch.
We'll go ahead and see if we can show you what happened at Barry Phil now that Glazer has completed the pass for the lead. Well, Bob's coming with a full head of steam. Barry gets up out of his way. Just sideways off the corner. Inside wall. Huge hit. Wayne Fleet, similar deal, coming up off of turn number 4.
Almost the same exact spot in the wall.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he did his best to, but he certainly succeeded in following those tire tracks. Chad Stearns able to get around Ryan Patty, who is struggling now these last couple of laps.
Jensen and Lamb almost get into it as Jensen goes to the inside to make the pass.
And Mike, here we are. Right around halfway. Got 2 laps till we're technically halfway. Jacob Jensen has gone from 21st to 4th. He is now within 6 seconds of the race lead. Is this a cause for concern if we don't see a caution? Because I think if we do, you've got to be worried about the 64.
If we see a caution, 100%. Right now, he's still pretty quick. I think he can at least make up 1, maybe 2 spots, depending on when he comes to pit lane. I don't know, though, that he can catch Bentley Glazer right now.
Glazer came in 3 laps later than Chad Stearns. Ryan Patty 2 laps later than Caleb Lamb. Scott Patton came in on the same lap as Bentley Glazer, but Patton is almost 8 seconds behind, just over 8 seconds behind. So the fresher tires really helping Bentley Glazer out. He's able to continue to increase this gap. Caleb Lamb trying to close back in on Jacob Jensen. And so I guess my question for you, and maybe my question for the crew chief, is these guys went 43 laps on their first cycle. If you were to repeat what you did the first time, you would go to lap 86, and you would have 31 laps to go. Do you pit earlier than that lap 86 threshold to kind of split up those tires evenly in the final 2 runs versus, you know, maybe running them as long as you can and then just trying to run fast laps to finish her out?
I honestly think you pit the lap after whoever you're worried about, I guess. If that makes sense.
Oh, 100%. You know, if you're Chad Stearns, you're chasing down Bentley Glazer, you wait till he comes in, you come in the lap after. Hope that lap fresher tires will help you out at the end.
I mean, and if you're Bentley Glazer, you probably want to pit, I'll say, a lap after, say, Jacob Jensen or something. That way you're on that same strategy, so you guys even out those tires.
Just remember, it's not over till it's over, and seeing a lot of guys starting to get slipping and slideways.
Yeah.
Saw a couple of spins that did not bring out the caution. Which we can blame iRacing for that, with this track having such a small, what they call racing surface. It's basically anything that's up above that white line. iRacing will automatically call a caution if a car is 90 degrees sideways on that racing surface. However, if you're off of that racing surface, it doesn't always register the fact that your car may have gone around or crashed. So it does kind of create some unfortunate situations where some deserving situations won't get a yellow flag.
True. That is definitely true.
Michigan is notorious for that.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Somebody spins up off of 2 at Michigan, they are basically, you know, they're racing for the lucky dog. Woods here trying to keep Todd Miles behind him. This is a battle just inside of the top 20. He's heating up just in front here, Matt Sisler. Trying to keep Ryan Steele behind him as Steele tries to chase down Hollingsworth. This is a battle inside the top 10 for 7th that Hollingsworth holds on to.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest things when you're racing the top 10 and the top 20. I mean, Sisler's trying to get everything he can to try and get to that lucky dog spot. And then you have, Steele and Hollingsworth racing for position on track, trying to stay inside that top 10.
Jacob Jensen may have had himself a little bit of an issue. Let's take a look. He's got Lamb and Patton behind him. Looks like he gets a little bit loose there. Oh, he got the wall pretty good coming up off of turn number 2, and that allows both Patton and the 4 of Caleb Lamb to get back by him.
Yeah,
Now
Caleb
Patton's
Lamb
going to be able to get down to the inside of Lamb. Almost a little bit of contact coming up off of 4, but just enough to keep that nose there, keep that side draft. Hold himself to a place where he can feel comfortable about that dive bomb. Woo, buddy. It's a bit aggressive, but got the job done. Bentley Glazer out front by 3.8.
I think the only thing that's going to save some of these cars that are a lap down is a couple quick cautions.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, but we also know how this Western States Racing League goes. Cautions breed cautions, and if that last one didn't breed one, you're going to be hard fought to find another one. Just as I say that, Dustin Burns into the pits with damage. See what happened to him there.
Hit the barrels.
Oh.
Hit the barrels.
Oh, no. Oh, no, don't, no. Looks like he thought about it. No, he did. He did. Tough break for Dustin Burns. He really has not had the day at all that he has wanted. He's, I mean, he's gotten into the wall a couple of times. He's had some unscheduled pit stops. He's had to come in under green to take repairs, and really just it has not been the day that Dustin has wanted at all.
Smith puts himself in the wall to let Bentley Glazer go by.
Well, we have a few moments here. Let's go ahead and find a little spot for premiere over here. It's behind the scenes work you guys are not allowed to see it, but you're seeing it, courtesy of Sim Racing Media. If you guys want to know more about the behind the scenes stuff that we do, feel free to shoot us a message. Potentially you could join us, doing commentary or production for your favorite iRacing series, or if you've got a league that you want to have broadcasted, we're looking. Glad to have you. This racing is incredible on Tuesday nights. Looking forward to having more incredible racing with us here on Sim Racing Media. We're going to go ahead and go with our through the field. And Bentley Glazer hasn't had much time going through the field at all. He's led 63 laps. He started from the pole, fell back to P10 during his 4-tire pit stop under green flag conditions. Did not take him long to retake that race lead. Saw him get around the 30 of Ryan Patty. Made patient work of him. Not quick, but he was patient. Second place, Chad Stearns. Pretty similar story. Started in the side of the top 10. Made that pit stop just around lap number 40. Took 4 tires, fell back outside of the top 16. Up just about, looks like his low was 19th position. Was able to get back up to second now. Trying to lead his first lap of the race. Trading blows with your leader, Bentley Glazer, but seems like Glazer's got the advantage for the time being. Ryan Patty's been out front for 4 circuits today. He's been as low as 18th. Started in the 3rd position. Got out in front after that set of green flag pit stops. He took 4 tires earlier than Bentley Glazer. Made the undercut work for a time, but right now he sits in 3rd place. Trying to get to that last pit stop and hope those tires can hold on. And speaking of last pit stop, here comes Chad Stearns on lap 75. Is this his last pit stop of the race, or is this just him parking it, making his last pit stop? We'll find out. Scott Patton in 3rd place. Started this race in 2nd. He's led a couple of, well, no, he has not led. He's been racing up front quite a bit, but started to fall back just a little bit after his initial start. Took 4 tires and has been able to work his way back up into the podium. And Mike, this is starting to look like scheduled pit stops here, so we might have to keep an eye on that as Ryan Patty takes over the race lead. Bentley Glazer pits from the lead on lap 77. This is 40 laps to go. He ran 43 on his first run. However, 3 of those laps were under caution flag. So the second stint here is definitely going to be the short one for Bentley Glazer. Scott Patton coming in, Jeff Hollingsworth, Chris Samard, Wayne Hutchison.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. You know you can make it to the end here if it does stay green. But if it doesn't, you have that extra pit stop as well. So, I mean, or, the extra set of tires as well. So,
yeah,
not
Mike,
really hurting anything.
I was going to say, these guys can risk it because they're going to have the fresher tires here. They're going to be quicker, potentially able to unlap themselves. But if the caution does come out and they're not able to get back that track position, they can come in and pit for fresh tires. Here comes Patty from the lead. Jacob Jensen going to stay out and take over the race lead. Here comes Ryan Steele giving a little bit of a block there to Heath Smith. Smith moves down to the bottom of the racetrack. He's in 19th, trying to get one of his laps back. Out of the inside. It seems like he's got the fresher tires than Jacob Jensen, but oh, he's going to get into the back of Jacob, puts him into the wall. Chad Stearns goes through. Stearns is going to love that because his fresh tires now get some grip and clean air in front of him. He's still trying to take his lap back from the race leader for right now, Jacob Jensen. Ryan Steele trying to take the lead away from Jensen. Bob Beltrami sits in 3rd place, about 4 seconds back of this group. Charlie Widener in 4th. Bentley Glazer, who was the first to come to pit lane, or rather Chad Stearns was, taken back over a top 5 spot.
Yeah, Bentley Glazer came down 1 lap after Chad Stearns. But looked like Jacob Jensen was trying to figure out how he could get single filed out to allow himself to come down pit lane. Just hasn't been able to yet. See if he comes by this time.
You can take a look at our top 15 in the bottom right. See what they've done for pits. It's 4 tires all across the board except for Sisler. But the number that's really significant is the laps since pit. Caleb Lamb, a 1 lap since pit. Scott Patton, 4 laps. Chad Stearns, 6. Bentley Glazer, 5. Your leaders, the lowest number is 34. Well, now it's Jacob Jensen who comes in. It's going to be a 0. Bob Beltrami's in as well.
Leave Steele and Widener out there. Brian Steele is electric here at saving fuel and tires, so I imagine he's going to try and get a few more laps here, try and see what he can do, but he's got less than 20 seconds to Bentley Glazer, so Bentley Glazer's going to pass him when he does come to pit lane.
1,000%, but if the caution comes out, Steele's in the catbird seat. He's right where he wants to be. He's going to be able to pit from the lead, likely retain the lead with the lap traffic he's got between him and Charlie Widener.
That's going to...
Still going to have Glazer within the top 5, but he's going to have to...
right.
He's going to have to pass Ryan Steele, which...
Yeah, we've got Widener, Glazer, and Stearns, so, I mean...
Really looks like Widener's going to try to push this as far as he possibly can. Steele potentially in the same boat. Appreciate everybody having a Tuesday night with us here on Sim Racing Media. It is St. Patrick's Day. And, well, I don't know. I'm Irish, and all I know is that we drink that day. I know it's got to do with St. Patrick getting the snakes out of Ireland, and there's plenty of interpretations as to what that means. But either way, if you're spending the night at home and you're safe and sound and just hanging out, we applaud you for not making any dangerous mistakes tonight. And if you're watching this from the bar, by any stretch of the means, you're deciding to watch us instead of hanging out with your friends, make sure you Uber home, because well, first off, D-dubs are expensive, and second, you can't go to Canada. I like Canada. I like going to Canada. I would never get a D-dub because Canada wouldn't allow me. And if those aren't reasons enough to not get a D-dub, we'll go ahead and drop a link in the comments. Let us know. All jokes aside, we do hope everybody has a fun and safe St. Patrick's Day. These guys are having a very fun but safe truck race here for the Western States Racing League at Darlington. Only 1 caution so far. That was on the first lap. Caleb Lamb got a little bit sideways, got 90 degrees sideways, maybe 91. It was enough to bring out the caution, and that's the only one that we've seen today. 6 different lead changes. Ryan Steele currently leads. Look at your lap leaders. Bentley Glazer's been out front for 66. Steele, the last 15. Ryan Patty's led 7. Jacob Jensen led 3 before coming in to the pits.
Now, speaking of Ryan Patty is in the pits still, has been in there for almost 4 minutes. So not sure what exactly happened to that number 30 machine, but it was tough early and was running inside that top 5 for most of the race.
Yeah, he something big happened there to him. I'm not sure what, but we'll try to go back and
Yeah, I couldn't find anything on scoring. But anyway, Ryan still out on the track. Has almost a 6-second lead, but that is evaporating pretty quickly.
All right, so here's Patty coming up off of the pit lane. But he was just losing spots. Oh, he got the wall, he got sideways, he got heavy into the outside wall. Destroys the right front toe. You can see that tire just turning straight right to the outside wall. Looks like Patty might have just gotten in there a little bit too hot on fresh tires, cold tires, and paid the price there as Chris Samard gets big time sideways in front of Ryan Steele, who is still out on the racetrack here on lap number 94.
I mean, he did go to 49 last time, but he's got to be hoping for a caution because Bentley Glazer right now, he's within 5 seconds and closing quick.
Well, we're going to go ahead and step aside, take a quick break before either a pass for the lead happens or... Well, we'll see. You guys won't miss a thing. We'll be side by side, but we'll be right back.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Back live here in Darlington, Bentley Glazer continues to lead. Well, rather, he took the lead from Ryan Steele, who made a pit right as we went to commercial. Chad Stearns in second place by 4 1/4. Scott Patton in third, just over 11 seconds back. Jacob Jensen is the fastest driver on the racetrack right now, trying to close in a 15-second gap to your race leader, Bentley Glazer. That last time by, he was 1.2 seconds quicker, 1.1 rather. Technically, that math does add up, but there's going to be a lot of lap traffic, Mike, for Bentley to have to deal with, along with chasing down 18 seconds worth of track time.
Yeah, and Bentley Glazer just ran a 31.08 that last time by, so.
Oh, yeah. No, it's over.
Well, it's
Bentley
not over yet.
Glazer is, well, I mean, he's just unbelievably quick here on these tires that he has taken. 25 laps now. Of course, this is auto racing. Anything can happen at any given moment. But right now, if I had to pick a seat in the house, probably be that 87 driver's seat.
Yeah, definitely would be sitting up there.
You know, it's kind of funny, Mike. These guys, there's so much fall off at this racetrack. When they go through turns 3 and 4 and they're at their slow point in the middle of the corner, each time I'm thinking, oh, they're slowing down for a yellow. I got to look over at the graphic and just confirm that we're still green.
Yeah, that is kind of the way that works, but it's just odd how slow it seems that they're going. But then, you know, get back to the stretch and they just start driving away again.
Go ahead and bring up your track map here. You can see everybody's kind of got their own little spot on the racetrack for the time being. Bentley Glazer's got a couple of lap trucks in front of him. A couple behind him, but currently sitting in a pretty good spot now. 4 3/4 up in front of second place. Scott Patton is just over 12 1/3 back. Jacob Jensen right around 15 1/2. Another 2 seconds behind Jacob to Caleb Lamb. Jeff Hollingsworth, Chris Samard, Bob Beltrami round out your drivers in the top, or well, rather on the lead lap, I should say.
Yeah, not too many left on the lead lap after the dominating performance and the clean racing we have seen here tonight. Glazer, Stearns getting a little bit closer, but it's still over a 4-second gap.
Yeah, it's really going to be a hard-pressed fight here with the last 9 laps coming our way. Bentley Glazer is, I mean, he's been lights out from the drop of the green flag. He led the first 43, I want to say, or 43 laps. Lost the lead after pitting. He hasn't been passed in green flag conditions at all today. The only time he's been passed, at least for position, is now you see Ryan Steele gonna pass him and make me change my words. Hasn't been passed for position at all today under green flag conditions. No. You know, through pit lane, he's lost those spots, but he's gained them right back. And Bentley Glazer's going to look back at tonight as a night to be pretty proud of, no matter what happens here. Still got 8 laps to go and 1 1/3 racetrack, so 7 to go. Now I think we're about 10 miles.
Yeah. Ryan Steele's was running almost a second faster at one point, but he is almost 30 seconds back as he just got unlapped But if a late race caution comes out, look to see what these guys can do towards the back here.
Well, I think the most important thing was Steele unlapping himself there. If we do see a late race caution, I think that's the most important part. Because we're at a stage right now, Bentley hasn't pitted since 77. The most recent we've seen anybody pit was Ryan Steele at 96. And at this point, 15 laps on his tires, I think he's coming in to get fresh rubber with 6 laps to go. Even though it would only be about 3 on the restart, I just don't think there's any way that you're going to be able to hold on to those older tires on a green-white checker situation.
No, the drivers you'd have to look for are like maybe, I don't know, Matt Sisler pitted on 85. Maybe
Sisler sideways there. Todd Miles also got up into the wall coming up off of 2.
I'll say maybe Widener. If he elected to stay out, you'd have a couple guys that took the wave around trying to get some track position. But that's all going to be moot here with 5 laps to go.
5 laps to go here at Darlington. The lady in black, the track too tough to tame. Bentley Glazer's done a pretty good job of it so far. He's going to have 5 more laps. 18 more corners to get her down here. 16 after he gets through these 2. We'll go ahead and bring up that track map once again. Everybody's got their own space on the racetrack right now. There's a little bit of closeness with some of these guys taking a look through the field. Not really anybody close enough to make a push at the car in front. The closest gap on the racetrack right now is actually Caleb Lamb to Jacob Jensen in front and Jeff Hollingsworth behind, which are both sitting right around a 1.6 second. Oh, Jeff Hollingsworth around! Caution is out. Ryan Patty's involved. This changes everything. We're going to overtime.
Yeah, forget about what I said.
Man, like I said, this is auto racing. Anything can happen, but Jeff Hollingsworth got a tap from, I believe, Todd Miles. Turns him around down the back straightaway. Ryan Patty involved as well. And the caution flag flies for only the 2nd time today.
Yeah.
Once on the first turn and once with less than 10 turns to go.
Bentley Glazer was half a lap away from the white flag.
It was Patty. I do apologize to Todd Miles. It was Patty who got into the back of him and collected himself. And it wasn't even Patty's fault. Jeff got a little bit loose, and there was no time for him to react.
Yeah, it's just like we were talking about earlier. When they kind of get a little loose, you take that air off of that rear of the truck, and it just he gets a little loose, slows down.
Jeff was already lifted. Yep. Jeff was already the truck was already upset. He was already lifting before the 30 even got to his back bumper.
So interesting.
Interesting. Bentley Glazer is staying out, and everybody else is coming down. Ryan Steele staying out as well. He knows he's got 20 lap fresher tires than Bentley does. But does he have... does he have a gap? Does he have any buffer between himself and the drivers on fresh tires? I think that's the big question here. And it looks like probably not.
Bentley Glazer just Bentley Glazer just came on the radio saying he missed the time for him to go to pit lane because there were so many lap cars in front of him.
Oh my goodness. that is a tough deal for Bentley. I mean, he's going to be out here on what's essentially 40-lap-old tires. I mean, Steele at least has 20 laps, but, you know, we got Chad Stearns, who just came into pit. Jacob Jensen behind him. Jensen's going to lead one more lap. I mean, at least the possibility is there for him to steal another one. Chad Stearns, of course, we've seen him work his way to victory lane towards the end of these things. Scott Patton, he's going to be up in the hunt. And now all of a sudden we're doubling it up. John Kenyon going to have to go to the back, but wow. Everything changing here at the end. Bentley Glazer getting dealt a bad hand and then a worse hand. Ryan Steele getting at least the opportunity that he wanted. But I tell you what, man, I would feel a lot better about that decision if it was one green-white checker compared to 3. But here we are. We're going to overtime here in the Western States Racing League. Second caution of the day puts us into extra time. Bentley Glazer in front. Ryan Steele to his outside. Both guys on older tires. Chad Stearns, the first one with freshies. Bentley spins him a little bit. Green flag back in the air. Steele getting spun tires as well. Getting put 3 wide. Jacob Jensen goes around. Back up the racetrack. Big crash. Caution's going to come out. Weaver's involved. Weaver's involved. John Kenyon got a piece of it, and I did say Weaver twice on purpose.
Yeah, Weavers were definitely involved there.
Earl and David both got a piece of it. Caution's out for the 3rd time today. Right on board with Jensen right as he got turned. Comes back up the racetrack. That's John Kenyon getting a piece. That's Weaver getting a piece. And that's Weaver getting another piece. Take a look from this initial restart, and you're going to see Glazer spins the tires big time. Steele does as well, but not quite as bad. Jensen reacts to that. Tries to get to his inside and maybe just doesn't know that Patton is that close. Widener got a piece of it as well.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like Widener got quite a piece of it. He had to come down pit lane. So pit lane.
Go on board with Widener here as he restarted 1 lap down. Oh my. So it looked like David Weaver got involved, bouncing off of the 62. Not necessarily getting off of Jacob Jensen there, but well, Mike, we're gonna re-rack, restack, and Bentley Glazer looks like he's decided once again he's gonna stick with it, staying out. I know last time wasn't really his choice, but I would have to imagine this time is.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be single file, so it will probably help him a little bit.
If I'm going to be honest with you, Mike, I think it helps Chad Stearns more. As long as he can, like, if these guys are doubled up, all right, I respect it.
Okay.
Yeah, I 100% thought they were going single file. 9 times out of 10, the rule is if there's a caution within the first lap, at an intermediate or larger or first 2 laps of a restart at a short track, then it will be single file. But we are in overtime situations. The rules may change a little bit. So now Chad Stearns is going to be on the outside, and he's going to have Caleb Lamb just behind him. There's 2 trucks on the first and second rows on the inside, have old tires. Watch for them to spin their tires. Bentley Glazer leads him down into the restart zone. How easy can he go while keeping the advantage? A little bit of a tire spin there. Ryan Steele spins the tires more. All the way down and back up goes Scott Patton. Glazer retains the lead into 1.
Glazer has a good run. Hopefully he can keep Chad Stearns behind him, is all he's hoping. Chad Stearns goes down to the bottom, going to get by. And here comes Lamb as well.
Chris Samard coming through as well. We haven't seen him in the front all night in that Strickland propane machine. Bentley Glazer falling back to 5th after 1 lap, but 1 lap is left in this race. White flag in the air. Chris Samard going down to the inside for 2nd as Chad Stearns drives away from this group. Half a second is the gap. Here comes Patton up on the outside of Samard. Scott Patton going to take away 3rd place. Does Samard have any way to get that final podium spot from him? Doesn't look like it, but it does look like Chad Stearns is going to come up off of turn number 4 and steal 1 in Darlington. Smacks the wall, and man, Mike, I tell you what, fastest lap of the entire race was Chad Stearns on the white flag.
Fastest lap of the race. Had to have it last time. Was able to get it. Bentley Glazer made a little mistake. Kind of made his bed after that. Stayed out. And those tires just didn't hold up here as he winds up falling down. But, I mean, he finishes P6.
Yeah, but when you take a look at this stat here, 94 laps led. Next to it is P6. It's going to be one he wants back as Chad Stearns continues to burn it down. And not only burn it down, he's breaking it down. He's doing that Chad Canals treatment, making sure you cannot tech that thing. Podium finishers are Chad Stearns, Caleb Lamb, and Scott Patton. Caleb Lamb just entered the WSRL Discord earlier today. He's going to be able to talk to us, and we can ask him about where he's from, his background, get to know him a little bit more in the WSRL. Scott Patton, of course, 3rd place, rocking the Cole Trickle paid scheme. Chad never talks to us, does he?
I don't believe so.
I don't think he jumps on Discord.
No, he's too good for us. It's all right.
Well, go ahead. I'm going to pull in Caleb Lamb, our 2nd place finisher. Hey, Caleb, it's Liam and Mike up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Well,
How y'all doing?
doing pretty good, man. We don't know much about you. It looked like you just joined this Discord earlier today, and you come home with a 2nd place finish. You looked super strong all night. I know there was a couple of sketchy moments where you had to overcome that first lap spin and a little bit of sketchy racing in between. But, well, first off, what is your thoughts on your first race here with the WSRL?
Definitely was a lot of fun. This is probably the most fun track on the service, in my opinion. So, definitely helped with that. But got a bunch of good racers, fast guys. Obviously, my buddy Jensen. Him and I have been around each other for a long time, know how to race with each other. He recommended you guys, so definitely a good group. Looking forward to coming back. It was fun.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you back, and I guess that speed makes sense when you tell us that Jacob Jensen is kind of who you know here, because Well, defending champ. He's got a couple of wins on the season already. He's a phenomenal driver, but like I said at first, we don't know much about you. What kind of racing do you like to do on the service? Do you, it seems like you're an oval guy. Do you do more leagues, officials? Tell us about
A little
Caleb.
bit, little bit of both. A little bit of both. Try and balance work and life. You know how that goes. But yeah, I just try and hop on here when I get the opportunity and do some officials mostly, and then do 3 or 4 leagues throughout the week. Try to anyway. But yeah, do some dirt oval stuff occasionally, just for fun. But
Well, awesome stuff, man. That's pretty much hitting all the rounds, at least in terms of over racing. And you showed your talent here tonight. We're looking forward to seeing what you got next week. But who do you want to thank for such a strong run here tonight with that P2 finish?
yeah, definitely the guys at Team Watson set up. They gave us a fast hot rod this week. Me and Jensen both. I know he had some unfortunate luck there at the end, but yeah, let's see, Race in Paradise and the guys at WLT2 Motorsports. Just a good group of guys. I appreciate you guys putting on the broadcast.
Well, we appreciate you hanging out and spending a little bit of your St. Patty's Day with us. And we'll see you again next week.
Yeah, thankfully I had the luck of the Irish on my side tonight.
Yes, sir. All right, we'll go ahead and bring in Scott Patton. Mike, I think you got him.
Hey, Scott, Mike, I'm in the booth, man. How's it going?
Good. How you guys doing?
Hell, not too bad. Well, that was a heck of a run. Started up towards the front. Kind of had a little moment up front when Patty spun early. How did that kind of change the way you were set up to race the rest of the race?
Man, that's tough. I don't think you ever really come into a race like Darlington and expect it to go green the entire race like that. So that first run, I think we just kind of burnt the stuff up and ended up going backwards a bit more so than we wanted to. But Bentley by far was the class of the field. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I knew it was going to be chaos in the end there with the green-white checkers, and ended up being, and luckily came out with the podium. But yeah, just trying to save tires. It's that balance of saving tires, but you're also watching the leader who's been dominating all day continue to walk away. So they're obviously doing something better, faster, but still not burning their stuff up nearly as much as you are. So frustrating, but we got stuff to learn. We can go back to the drawing board and see what they're doing out there.
Yeah, definitely. You had a good run at the end, a little chaos there, like you said, on that green-white checker. But, I mean, other than that, you guys have shown up and ran fairly well, just missing that top, that win here. But how do you feel about heading into Martinsville next week?
Yeah, if we end up racing that, Martinsville is one of my favorites for sure. New Hampshire Motor Speedway up here is my home track. I live about a half hour from there. And that's kind of my all-time favorite track. So Martinsville is like a small New Hampshire. So anything with flat is much more my style. So I think we'll put on a competition, maybe give Bentley a run for his money there if he's up front.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats on your P3 finish. Anyone you want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
Maybe just the guys at Highline Racing there for the input. You know, even when they had a rough night tonight, they kind of stuck around to spot and do some strategy and timing and whatnot. So all those guys at Highline, Charlie and Milfeld and Heath and all them. So appreciate all their help. And we got New England Racing Museum on the hood here, which is on the property of New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So you can check them out if you're in the area. And just Stone River Outfitters for all your fly tying fishing needs. Check them out, stoneriveroutfitters.com. And appreciate you guys in the broadcast for doing a great job up there. Looking forward to watching this one.
Thank you, sir. And we will see you next week.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate it, guys.
All right, well, that's going to about do it for us here. Let's see what results we can pull up. We got the fancy stuff here on this side. We'll get rid of that. We'll take a look at your top 10. Chad Stearns, Caleb Lamb, Scott Patton, Chris Samard, Bob Beltrami, Bentley Glazer, Jeff Hollingsworth, Wayne Hutchison, Paul Crumray, and Jacob Jensen round out the top 10. The rest of the drivers will scroll through on the bottom as we go through some of our awards for the day. Chad Stearns, first place, led 2 laps today. Caleb Lamb just under 4/10 behind, and Scott Patton still within a second. 125 laps completed out of the 117 scheduled. 8 different lead changes under green flag, 5 different leaders. 3 cautions for a total of 9 laps. Chris Samard was your hard charger, finishing 4th, up 18 spots. Bentley Glazer led the most laps of the race with 93. Chad Stearns had the fastest lap of the race on the last lap of the race with a 29.573. Bentley Glazer had the fastest lap of the qualifying session with a, well, it doesn't show us that at the moment. But round 7 is complete, Mike. And I got to say, that was a hell of a show.
Yeah, definitely. Got some long green flag action, had some chaos at the end. And I can only imagine what Martinsville is going to hold when we get these guys on that short track.
It is going to be an absolute blast. And remember last time at Martinsville, we saw a league record of 18 cautions. I do firmly believe that was based on the fixed setup that we had for that weekend. So we'll see what we've got for next week. But I think we're in for a really good show. I mean, these guys were able to do Darlington and bookend it with yellows.
Yeah. Yeah, just to go to show you how good they were. I do think it's been a while since they were at Martinsville when they came here in October of last year. But before that, back in May in 2019, they had 0 cautions in a 200-lap race. So I firmly believe that's more what we're going to see, and these guys are going to put on a show.
Well, you know where to find us next week. 10:20 Eastern, 9:20 Central. If you're on the West Coast with these boys, it's 7:20. I think that's what math does. But before we let you go here, I do always love to quote Cletus and say, do it for Dale and be like Biff. I like to quote our good friend Tony. Say, as you guys walk through the streets of life, please don't play in traffic. Have a good night, folks.